Good day, everyone, especially to our professor, Sir Jason Compuesta. First of all, let me thank you all for joining or listening to our presentation for today. So, as you can see on the screen, our presentation is all about social learning theory. So, if you say social learning theory, what comes up to your mind? Or what do you think? Can we all learn by direct experiences or also from studying others? Anyways, let's get into the presentation, the social learning theory. So, as you can see on the screen, that is a one scenario where social learning may apply. So, you can see a teacher and a student. A teacher that teaching his or her student. So, suppose the teacher wants to teach a new concept to the student. The teacher starts by explaining the concept to the student and then models the behavior or process involved in the concept. And then the student pay attention to the teacher's demonstration. And then they retain the information in their memory and then reproduce the behavior on their own. So, in this scenario, the teacher is the model, and then the students observe and imitate the teacher's behavior. The students are motivated to perform the behavior because they perceive the teacher as an authority figure and the behavior as valuable for achieving the learning goals. So, as a result, the student learned the new concept through social learning, which involves attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. Moreover, the student may also learn from their peers in the classroom, who may be perceived as competent and attractive models. Actually, the teacher can encourage social learning by providing opportunities for a student to observe and learn from each other, and by creating a positive and supportive classroom environment where students can feel comfortable expressing themselves and trying new things. Now, let's proceed to the theorist or the one who made this theory, the social learning theory. The theory was first proposed by psychologist Albert Bandura in the 1960s, who argued that people learn not only from direct experiences but also by observing others and their consequences. So, SLT or social learning theory is a psychological perspective that emphasizes the role of observation and imitation and development of behavior. So, according to the theory, individuals are more likely to adopt behaviors that they observe in others when they perceive those behaviors are to be rewarded or beneficial, and they less likely to adopt behavior that are punished or have negative consequences. So, beside of that, SLT or social learning theory have four factors. This is attention, retention, reproduction, and lastly, the motivation.
Guys, there are three core concepts of social learning theory or the SLT. And number one is people can learn through observation. This is what we also call the observational learning. There are three basic models of observational learning. So the first one is a live model, which involves an actual individual demonstrating or acting out a behavior. So example ani guys is like we're on a dance practice. So unsa man nato pagkahibaw mo sayaw is di ba by imitating or by following what our dance master demonstrating or or unsa ang ilang steps nga ilang gi-demonstrate para makahibaw ta sa choreography nila. And the second one, guys, is a verbal instructional model, which involves descriptions and explanations of a behavior. So, kani, guys, usually is like verbal, from the word verbal, like more on storya, like, pwede sa, kaning live model, guys, is pwede sa ni siya verbal instructional model, like, moingon na tong dance instructor if erase atong kamot, like mo-raise sa atong kamot, or erase ang atong leg, or i-wiggle atong hips, so like that. And the third one, guys, is a symbolic model which involves real or fictional characters displaying in behaviors in books, films, television programs, or online media. Example for this, guys, is like cartoon movies like Tom and Jerry. So as we all know, guys, Tom and Jerry are kuan man jud na sila, no, kanang magkaaway, and pwede sa din nato ma-apply in real life experiences nga if we see our enemies, like pwede sa nato ma-adapt or like pwede sa nato ma-apply ang unsay gi-portray sa salida nga Tom and Jerry. Pwede na to i-apply sa atong kuan, like i-irritate sa nato ang mood sa atong enemy, so like that. And the second one, guys, is mental states are important to learning, or what we also call psychological reinforcement. Bandura noted that external environmental reinforcement was not the only factor to influence learning and behavior. He described intrinsic reinforcement as a form of internal reward, such as pride, satisfaction, and a sense of accomplishment. We imitate behavior because we also feel good about it. And the third one, guys, is the learning does not necessarily lead to a change in behavior. So while behaviorists believe that learning leads to a permanent change in behavior, observational learning demonstrates that people can learn new information without demonstrating new behaviors. So the things that we see may not necessarily lead to a change in behavior. Sometimes it can lead to a change in our perspective or in our attitude. So guys, the condition of effective modeling. The first one is attention. Attention refers to the cognitive process of selectivity, focusing on certain aspect of the environment, particularly those that are relevant to learning. Attention, guys, is the degree to which we notice the behavior. A behavior must grab our attention before it can be imitated. And the second one, guys, is the retention. Retention refers to the ability to store and recall information or behaviors that have been learned through observation and imitation of models. Retention is an important part of the learning process because it allows individuals to maintain and use the knowledge and skills they have acquired over time. Retention, guys, this is where we retain the sequence of behaviors and consequences which we can retrieve for future imitations of the behavior. And the third one, guys, is reproduction. Reproduction refers to the ability to imitate and perform behaviors that have been observed in others. Reproduction is an important component of learning because it allows individuals to take the acquired through observation and put them into practice in their own lives. Reproduction, guys, this is when we reproduce a behavior that we observe that influences our decisions about whether we try the behavior or not. And the fourth one, guys, is the fourth one and the last one is the motivation. Motivation refers to the internal drives and external incentives that influence behavior in the learning process. Motivation plays a significant role in social learning theory because it can determine whether an individual is likely to attend to, retain, and reproduce behaviors observed in others. Motivation, guys, is the will to emulate the behavior. It involves learning through observing the consequences of actions for other people rather than through direct experience.
Examples of social learning theory. So, one of the examples of social learning theory is the Bobo doll experiment. It is a famous study conducted by Albert Bandura in 1961. So, Bobo doll experiment is he experimented to explore the effects of observing aggressive behavior in children. The study involved children watching a video of an adult model behaving aggressively towards the Bobo doll or towards a Bobo doll, which is a large inflatable doll with a weight in the bottom that makes it bounce back when knocked over. Bandura's studies demonstrated that children who observe the aggressive behavior of the adult mode were more likely to imitate the behavior themselves. Furthermore, when the same children were placed in a room with the Bobo doll, they were more likely to exhibit aggressive behavior towards it, mimicking the behavior they had observed in the video. In fact, the study was significant because it challenged the behaviorist theory that behavior is solely a result of reinforcement and punishment. It showed that observing behavior could also have significant impact of behavior, which is known as observational learning or modeling. The findings have been used to inform theories of aggression, social learning, and media violence effect. So my second example of social learning theory is the children who learn from their parents. So let's watch the video all together.
Looks like rain again today. Dark clouds gather and fill the sky. Don't know how to talk to you, just know how to say goodbye.
Would you actually got a driver's license? I don't think so. Did you see his back there, George? Go back where you came from. Learn this way. Go back where you came from. You're the guy to me. What's wrong with you, Harry?
So the second example, or the video, in the video, it's all about the children learning from their parents. A child may observe their parent displaying pro-social behavior such as kindness, empathy, and sharing, and imitate those behaviors themselves. Likewise, a child may also observe their parents displaying aggressive or negative behavior such as yelling or hitting, and they may be more likely to imitate those behaviors as well. So, social learning theory also emphasizes the role of reinforcement in the learning process. If a child observes their parents engaging in a behavior that is rewarded or positively reinforced, they may be more likely to imitate those behavior or that behavior. Conversely, if a child observe their parent engaging in a behavior that is punished or negatively reinforced, they may be less likely to imitate that behavior. So, overall, social learning theory suggests that children can learn from their parents through observation, imitation, and reinforcement, and that those processes can shape their behavior and development over time. Now, let's proceed to the application of the theory of social learning theory. So, in our theory, in our application of the theory, we have three. We have education, psychology, and public health. So, first, it's all about the education. So, education is indeed an application of theory in social learning for the reason that educational researchers also draw on theories of learning and development to understand how students learn and how to improve educational practices. These theories help researchers to develop hypotheses about how students learn and then test the hypothesis through empirical research. So, in summary, education is one of the applications of theory in social learning because as teachers and researchers use theories of learning and development to inform their practices and improve the student learning. So that's why education is one of the application theory of social learning theory that made of Albert. The second one is the psychology. Psychology is a certainly important application of social learning theory because, for example, in clinical psychology, social learning theory has been used to develop effective treatments for a range of mental health disorders. By understanding how people learn from their environment and observing others, therapists can use modeling and other techniques to help patients change their behavior and can develop new skills. In summary, psychology is one of the key applications of social learning theory because by understanding how people learn from their environment and observing others, psychologists can develop effective treatments, design training programs, and improve the workplace behavior. So that is the second application of the theory of social learning theory. That is psychology. The last one is the public health. Public health is indeed an important application of the theory also because, for example, social learning theory can be applied to help people adopt healthy behaviors such as exercise, healthy eating, and smoking cessation. So, by providing opportunities for people to observe to observe others engaging in these behaviors or in those behaviors and offering positive reinforcement for their efforts. Social learning theory can be used to promote behavioral change or behavior change. Moreover, social learning theory can also be applied to understand the spread of infectious diseases or infected diseases, something like that, and design effective interventions. By understanding how people learn from their social networks and observe the behavior of others, public health researchers can identify the the key influencers in a community and and develop targeted interventions to prevent the spread of the disease. So, in summary, social learning theory can be a valuable tool for public health practitioners and researchers because by understanding how people learn from their social environment, we can design interventions that promote healthy behaviors and can prevent diseases. So that's why public health is one of the important also of the application of theory in social learning theory. So, as a closing remarks, in summary, social learning theory suggests that we learn by observing the behavior of others and the consequences of those behaviors. We then use this information to guide our own behavior and decision making process. The theory emphasizes the importance of both environmental factors and internal cognitive process in shaping our behavior and emphasizes the importance of reinforcement and punishment in determining which behaviors are repeated and which are avoided. Overall, social learning theory has helped to shed light on the complex ways in which humans um, earn and develop, and it continues to be a valuable framework for understanding a wide range of human behaviors and experiences. So that's all for today. Thank you for